Now, here's the thing: you're talking self-defense. We're not, we're all in street clothes or workout clothes, right? So you don't always know the situation's coming. So we're gonna practice stepping into base as we get ready to defend. Okay? So if he's coming from an angle one, I'm coming in here, and I want to connect. That way, if he starts trying to pull back, I'm in a strong base. See, he was off balance because he tried to pull back. He didn't pull me to him. And that's where we'll start finding our techniques, right? If he hits me or pushes and pulls me or grabs me and I'm off balance, it's going to be hard to defend yourself, right? So with this, we're using kind of a monkey paw, right? And I'm stepping in here into the same foot forward as I'm blocking with, right? I want to add a little, like here, I don't really have any weight to it. You can just kind of push through. Like there, I'm leaning my weight forward into the balls of my feet. Here, I can hit. I can go here, here, for different techniques, okay? So what we want to do is connect to the person. We want to step in base, and we want to block right here, right? See how this is going to be a lever for when we start disarming here in a second, okay? So right now, just practice. You're in a neutral stance. You're stepping into base with that high block. You're leaning your weight forward into the balls of your feet subtly. We don't want to overlean. Right? And then I want the partners to practice pulling the stick back a little bit. You stay hooked to them. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Let's work on that. 1, 2. Think about this. We'll measure just stay here. 2 hand distances away. He could probably still reach my head with his stick, but I can't just step forward and block. See? There's a range problem here. And one thing about training martial arts, learning how to strike, whether it punches or kicks, defend against those things, you develop an understanding of distance and how to manage it, okay? So what I want you to think about doing is you're gonna take a bigger step and you're gonna slide your back foot. Now we don't wanna, when we do this, I'll show it side here, right? I'm gonna take a big step and I don't wanna slide my foot too close together. The base you were stepping in that felt strong, everybody's looking pretty good here. That's what we've got to step and slide into. Okay, so we'll check our distance here, right? Go ahead, here, right? So I close that distance. I close the gap between us, right? So here, you check that distance, start from here. Because again, from here, he can still hit me with that, but I can't just block like we learned a second ago, okay? So here, I'm gonna step and slide, right? Coming in, controlling the shoulder. If I want to off balance him, that can also simulate a palm strike to the face, right? And then we'll get into some of that, what we can do with that secondary hand that we're not blocking with here in a minute, okay? So drill closing distance, stepping into base and blocking, and I'll add on one more thing and I'll turn it over to Josh. All right, once you always
Okay, no, but I got it, so.
hesitation.
Not right now.
All right, blooper drill, all right? So let's go over the disarm. This is the last part I'm going to cover, and so just think about disarming the stick, taking it away. That's a skill. Not being able to take it away and having to throw them. That's another just part of this. Okay. So just go back to that regular distance, or you can close distance either one. He goes to hit. I step in. I block. I add a little weight here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up to the stick. I'm going to slide down. I'm going to pull it out, and once I disarm here, I can strike. Pulling through, stick to the ribs, doesn't feel good, right? Jab the end of the stick right into somebody's rib, does not feel good, right? You've been training it, so be careful, okay? So here, I step into base. I've got a palm strike to the face I can simulate. Here, strike, pull through. Okay, so one more time. When I was training collie in sticks regularly, we always called this the quick release disarm, right? And it's just like the #1 disarm you see in a lot of systems, including like the self-defense techniques for jiu-jitsu. Okay, so he comes here, I add a little weight here, boom, boom. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. 1, 2. I said it to several of the groups, so when he strikes, I'm trying to capture this with my wrist as part of the leverage here. So I'm connected over his arm, I'm in my base. You see where my arm's at here? When I start twisting, I can with the stick all the way pointed down if I need to, right? Where I can come up here, right? Like that. But it turns into a twisting lock on his arm, like an Americana, if you're familiar with jiu-jitsu terminology, or a wrist lock, right? So that's a big part of this is, you know, using that as a part of your leverage, okay? And I told some of the other groups, not really getting into it today, but you can strike with that, right? You can hook with it. If you come back for the baton class we'll do here in the future, we'll get into some of that stuff, right?